So we're going around some turns, man. She takes a turn a little too quick, and it throws her out of it. She barrel rolls out of it.
No.
It was really cool looking.
And it was still going, though?
Yeah.
really cool
I was in the
looking.
passenger seat, and I'm like,
He's in the passenger seat.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces.
All right, Lambo, number 2.
Number 2, episode 2. We're back. Super stoked to be back, actually.
So if you made it through 1.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was our first try.
Yeah.
We've got a special guest today.
Yeah.
His name is William McLean.
William.
If you're watching on YouTube, he does not normally look like this with a collared shirt.
Yeah, he's really fancy today.
yeah.
He's one of the youngest people that I know that still wears overalls.
Overalls are great.
Yeah, but he
just start
crushes. Like it fits him really well.
But I
the
think we
haircut.
all need to get together though and buy him a proper fitting set of overalls.
They all fit great. They're a little high water.
It's a little high water.
Yeah.
He's tall, man. We don't have that problem.
They're so big and tall.
Like we need to get you some extensions for the pants, man.
Yeah. Some little clip-ons.
He's wearing boots and you can see his shins.
Oh, that's
They're
cool.
like
That's cool.
overall jorts.
George. Yeah, George. We can make him real George if you
They're
want.
fancy though.
Over jorts.
Over George.
Over Jorts.
That'd be sick.
The best part though is they are extremely dirty.
They're nice. They're nice.
Well, they're supposed to be dirty. That's what he does.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said bring a clean pair of overalls.
But he says they fit well, but then yet he blows the butt out of them every time he bends over to pick
Nice.
up a tool.
So they don't-
Don't look at my butt. I know it's hard.
He was winking at me.
It's called sexual
You
harassment.
should also wear underwear.
No, those you don't. There's breathability right there.
Yeah, it's true. It gets hot back there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially back there.
Exactly. Back there, it
A
gets
lot
real
of stuff
hot.
going on. Yeah.
A lot of stuff. All right, Will.
So yeah, Will, you Will works at Gibson Exhaust. He's
I do.
head of our R&D right now. He started out. What are we going on? 5 years now?
Yeah. Yeah. It's 17 days.
That's pretty
5
impressive.
years.
Yeah.
In 17 days?
I keep track.
Damn, that's pretty
Shoot,
impressive.
I gotta give him his review.
I know.
And yeah.
We'll get one of those. That's a good applause for him.
Sounds expensive. You know, Will, we're going into a recession, right?
Yeah, well,
It's coming.
it's coming. We got 17 days to figure out the review, so.
Yeah. There you go.
How to extend it.
Exactly.
Just
Like,
the end of the year.
yeah, about that.
Sorry, bro, you were late today. 1 minute. We're gonna have to extend that review for another 90 days.
Yeah,
Just 90.
not going to work out very well.
But so he started out in the shop in the back, and you were working in what was it, QC?
I started off in packing.
Packing. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I moved to QC. I tried learning everything I could.
That's good, though. I mean, Sean did the same thing.
Yeah, and that was my favorite part. I think about Will is he was never okay with where he was at.
Yeah.
He was always eager to go forward.
The growth.
And keep moving forward. And, you know, with the best part about Will is you would put him into something and he would figure it out.
Yeah.
And he would get good at it, or he would ask the right questions, or he would, just listen to his, people around him. But also what was so amazing was his personality. I mean, he was just such a good person at the same time. He has so many great
That's
qualities.
a fluff
going.
piece for Will right now.
Thank you. I mean, I didn't put no makeup on, but my cheeks are a little rosy. I can feel it.
You got Will blushing over here.
But I mean, it's like, you're now designing all of our kits. You're doing the fixture and the tooling, the driving of, all the vehicles and the testing, and, you've helped out in any way you possibly can. And that's not because it's something that I taught you or someone else taught you. It's because of whatever life you've lived that got you to this point and gave you that personality. And that's what we're here to find out.
Yeah.
It's like, Will, how did you turn into Will?
Yeah, where did Will come from?
Well, it all started, I guess.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Get out your notepads because it's getting long.
It's getting long. It's a long story.
Oh, yeah.
right.
It all started back when I was probably about 10, 11 years old. When I'd go visit my dad, he had go-karts, mopeds, three-wheelers, all this fun stuff. So he'd always get those things going for us. We'd ride around the block. It was real cool as a kid.
Yeah.
I always just dig just the sound of engines, just really riding them around. I mean, I don't really like electric stuff.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of a, not really.
So you don't like electricity?
Oh, yeah. I like the amenities to it.
You
That's
like
for
the
sure.
electric motorized vehicles.
Yeah, I just don't like the
Yeah.
sound to it.
I don't even know if they make that sound.
Yeah,
If it's bad.
if it's bad, it's not good.
But yeah, I started off doing that stuff, and I didn't really know at the time that's what I liked.
Yeah.
It wasn't until probably I was about 14, 15 years old, and I was helping my buddy's dad out working on cars and doing all that fun stuff. And I'm like, you know what? This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like working on this kind of stuff. And that kind of just led me to working on all sorts of motorized stuff or just trying to learn about all the motorized stuff. I wanted to be a mechanic when I got older, but I kind of got derailed. Yeah, packing department, stuff like that.
Packing department.
Well, he also has McLean's Mechanics.
Yeah, it's a little, side gig.
Good.
It's doing absolutely terrible at the moment. I've had a good handful of customers count on my fingers.
Is it terrible because of the quality or because of the?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I'm not going to throw myself under the bus here, but it's not the greatest thing in the world.
But you're willing to do the dirty jobs that nobody else is.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
doing it.
I like oil. I don't mind a little bit of it.
A little bit of grease on there, on the overalls.
Yeah. Oh, of course. If you get a new pair of overalls, it's almost mandatory. You got to do an oil change.
Okay, that
Gonna
makes sense, though.
yeah.
His
can't
overalls
be
double
clean.
as like a shop rag. too.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
All
good thing
my
you just
clothes.
save it on shop rags.
Yeah,
so you
I mean,
don't have to buy
sometimes
shop
like if
rags.
there's an oil spill, he just rolls around and soaks it up.
I can't clean my sunglasses with my overalls.
That
They
makes
get
sense.
smudgy.
Yeah, I get it.
Have the rainbow
it.
streak on
Yeah,
them.
heck yeah.
Give
You
it that-
can't see out of them.
Yeah, I give it the patrol look. That's for sure.
What I know you're saying, going out with your dad and riding ATCs and the sounds of the motors, all that you really liked. But what made you want to go to Gibson? I guess how'd you get in with Gibson?
One of my old buddies, he went to church with one of our safety supervisor, Oscar.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, man, if you want a job, there's a job opening at Gibson.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, heck yeah, man. So
Yeah.
I went to this office, filled out this what do you call it?
Application.
That's it. An application. And I was in the front of the office, and man, let me tell you, it was so hot in that office.
Oh,
I
it's
didn't know
hot
if
in
I was
there.
nervous or if it was hot. And now I know it's just because it was hot.
It's hot.
Was
Both,
it the first job you applied to?
It's the second. I worked at Ralph's first, and
What were you doing?
I was a bagger.
Packing.
Yeah.
Packing. Same thing.
Well, that's why I got hired. You had experience.
Yep. Push a couple carts around. Exactly.
Hey, man.
Yeah, it all started there, and it was cool. It was kind of like a reach out. It was something you didn't totally expect at all, and you kind of it just came.
It's happened.
Yeah, and couldn't be more happier than the turnout.
No, that's awesome, man. That's huge. So I guess what pushed you to want to learn more and actually get back to the R&D area? Did you have that in mindset the whole time? Like, I want to do R&D and I wanted,
Well, I didn't have R&D in sights. I worked on mini bikes at the house, and everything was kind of just garage built.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking motor mounts made out of like railing for the wall, like just random stuff, man.
Yeah.
So I always had just the knack of building stuff out of nothing,
Yeah.
or trying to at least, and watching it fail when I go, 100 feet down the road.
That's how you learn, though.
Yeah, I
really
definitely learned some things. Don't cut corners.
Yeah.
Or at least if you're gonna cut them, make sure it's a good corner.
That's true. That's
There's
true.
no such thing as shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just
Yeah.
corner cuts.
Just corner guys. Yeah, but I think that's a good trade is, now taking that and bring it into the R&D area. What, I guess, what's your trade and why do you work so hard back there? Why do you love what you're doing, right?
I absolutely love what I do. And I think the reason I work so hard is just to see the final product, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you go from hearing something that sounds like nothing, almost like a blow dryer.
Yeah.
A lot of the new cars, and you put an exhaust on it, it sounds totally rad.
Yeah.
You're like, this is insane, man. And that really, seeing my first exhaust turn around was cool, man. I couldn't explain it. Just hearing the sound of it, the first startup, it was awesome. And I didn't really know what exhausts were. I mean, I knew they were an exhaust, but I didn't know what they did.
What they really did.
Yeah, I didn't know how to tell that someone had an exhaust on their truck or anything like that.
Yeah.
Until I started working back there, but it's real cool. I came from not having any tools, really just a vise and a hammer and some drill bits that my grandpa had. They were wood bits. They went through metal. Wood bits go through metal.
Hey, wood bits are like the ultimate,
Only
right?
like once, though, I think
Yeah,
you go through metal.
you got one good shot.
Dull.
Yeah, you better make sure it's a good mark.
Better measure twice on
then,
that one.
then it's a styrofoam bit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's cool going from not having a shop to having all these abundance of tools and machinery and all this stuff and getting to learn them all. And now you can, it's crazy, man.
How long you been in the R&D area?
About 3.5 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he moved through it pretty quickly. We had another R&D tech there that he worked underneath.
Yeah.
Sometimes your plan Bs turn into your plan A.
Absolutely.
Well, but he was there to kind of help and had a good, someone that taught him a lot of good things. But he was also smart enough to be able to identify what was, when you learn from people, you don't sometimes you're not just learning good qualities, you're sometimes learning bad qualities also. And as long as you can identify those, you can use them to your benefit. There's no such thing as really a bad teacher. I mean, if you're able to, recognize something that maybe is wrong, it might be wrong for your application or wrong for your other things, but he did real well and he's kicked ass. But now the crazy part though is he brings all his damn projects into the shop. So tell us about some of your, what was your first project first? Let's start there.
Yeah.
Your first home project. And mind you guys, this is at his mom's house. How many people are living at your mom's house?
I think we're going on. We've actually reduced the past few years. I think we're at 9 or 10.
Okay, adults.
Yeah,
I think for the most part.
There's one kid in there.
And at this time,
short sell.
Well, and at this time, his first one, his bedroom was the shed.
Yeah, I lived in a hallway, and then I moved to the outside shed. I got old enough to where I wanted some privacy.
All right, there you go. Yeah, I get it.
Went from no door to a sliding door.
Sweet. All right.
10?
People were getting mad you're taking too many showers throughout the day.
Oh, no, that was outside business.
That was outside.
So he's in his mom's house in a neighborhood with his projects everywhere, and he decides he's going to start building what in the garage?
Well, my first project is actually really cool. I didn't know the history of this until a couple years back, and I actually redid the project because it turned out, a young kid did it.
Yeah.
It had some railing on the motor mounts. It is a 1950s tote goat. It was actually made way back in the 50s. They were open for a few years, probably about 13.
Okay, so what is that exactly, a tote coat?
They used it as hill climbers for hunters. You'd hook up a trailer to the back of it, and you'd be able to climb a hill with it. You hook up a snowplow to the front.
It's a motorcycle, right? Two wheels.
Two-wheel motorcycle, heavier than crud.
But they're not like traditional skinny dirt bike tires, right?
Oh, no. Back to swamp tire.
Really? Like how big though? Like
we're talking probably about 7 inches wide by maybe 21 inches tall, something like that.
All right.
It's got a jack shaft. It's got a bunch of different chains on it.
Like it looks like something you'd buy at like like a lawnmower shop or something like that. I mean, it's got the exposed chain.
Oh yeah.
Very straight bars, sharp edges.
I love sharp edges. All about it.
if you're watching us on YouTube, we'll throw it up there, and right now you can see what he's working with. All right, so that's project number one.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to work on that one?
That one, the very first time I did it, I was 14 at the time.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real project. It was more of a get it going.
Okay.
Like throw a motor on it and get it to work.
Yeah.
Now, how did you obtain this one?
My dad actually found it up in the high desert on a piece of property, and he brought it down, and one of his buddies welded the front forks together. I'm surprised it's still together, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, we got
Still
that thing.
working.
It's cooking now. I just redid it probably about 2 years ago. And
Nice.
Now it's done professionally. Looks
Done,
great.
yeah.
By McLean Mechanics?
By McLean's Mechanics, yeah.
Well, at least he puts his efforts where he wants it to.
Ignore the online reviews, but
Yeah, don't look at Yelp.
Damn it, Yelp.
But I remember one that you built, and didn't one of your buddies? It was one of your buddies that he gave to you or something.
Was it the quad cart? Maybe.
Was it the quad cart?
He gave me the idea. It was
Okay.
definitely a crazy idea. And
But you had one project that I thought someone had given to you or something, or you bought off of them.
Very right.
And you built it all the way. We're going through it, and then in the end, what did you do with it?
I gave it back to him. Yeah.
So you built it up and he gave back.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You bought it off of him, right?
He gave it to me. It was his grandpa's, and he was like, "Here you go, dude. You seem like you're gonna have the most fun with it." I'm like, "Sweet."
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that thing turned out rad, man. It had quad tires on it, 3-wheeler tires.
Nice.
Freaking sweet.
Yeah.
And it was scary, man. Scary.
You have pictures of that too?
Yeah.
How
All right,
long
I'll
did
throw
you
them up on
spend
here.
working on that?
I spent probably 3 months, 4 months. I had to get the frame.
Like every day in the garage, at your mom's house.
Oh, yeah.
You stripped the whole thing, went through, and then in the end, he wrote it and said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it back to him."
Yep.
Awesome,
It was awesome.
I gave it back to
That
him.
is cool.
Yep. Then he gave it back. he gave
then he gave it back to
about
you?
4 months later, he's like, "Will, take this thing. You built it, bro." And I'm
That's
like,
cool.
"It's yours. You keep it, Andrew. It's yours." He's like, "No, you take it. It's yours now."
So was it just being like the nice guy, or like you guys just neither of you wanted it?
Well, I thought it belonged to him. It was his grandpa's, so I'm like,
Yeah,
this
that
is
makes sense.
rightfully
Yeah.
his.
Yeah.
He gave it to me for free, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna return the favor.
Yeah.
But one up him. I like one-upping.
Absolutely. Then he one-upped you.
Yeah, then he one-upped me. That guy, he got me good.
He got you good, man. So you did the right thing. You took it. I mean, it's hard. Like, those situations are hard, though, right? It's like, no, please don't, no. And like, all right, fine.
And that's a great example of like his personality too, of just going through all that and just doing the right thing. And sometimes it's hard to find those people.
For sure.
What was your next awesome project? Because
definitely the quad cart.
okay,
Yeah.
And so you guys quad cart. We're gonna have to get some of these photos to post up online for them.
This
to see.
one is nuts. This is by the same guy I gave that bike to.
Yeah.
Andrew came over. He was like, "Man, what you doing this time?" I'm like, "Well, I'm building a golf cart, man. It's my first golf cart." I was super excited. I got it for $180.
Nice.
My buddy Mundo, we went camping and he had a golf cart, and I'm like, "I want one."
Yeah,
I'm getting one of those
awesome,
things,
man.
And yeah, so found one on offer up, $180.
Perfect.
Didn't look that great.
That's the cheapest golf cart I've ever seen.
It was very
That's
cheap.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
golf carts are expensive.
Once you see it, you'll know. You'll know why.
Why it was $180? Nice. Did it have motors in it?
It was electric.
Yeah.
The battery cage was all rusted out. The motor was shot.
Nice.
So I did the right thing and bought, all the material, rebuilt the battery cages.
All right, that's good.
It was awesome. It looked great. And then Andrew came by and he was like, "Dude, you should put a motor in that thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's not a bad idea, dude." We were hanging out, having a few beers. My buddy
That's how it
Frank
always starts.
Yeah. My buddy Francisco, he made this whole thing possible. He said, "Hey, Will, I got this quad at the house if you want it."
Yeah.
It was a 2007 Honda 400 EX.
Sick.
Yeah. Said it couldn't get to
That's
start.
a pretty solid motor.
It was a grape ape, man. It was awesome. And so I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it." And he lives about 5 miles from my house. So I went and grabbed that thing, brought it back, and me and Andrew were hanging out at the house. She's like, "Dude, you should put that thing inside the quad cart." And I'm like, that's not going to happen. I'm like, no way.
That's probably not a good idea.
On one side of the shoulder, saying that the other one saying, "That is the best idea I've ever heard."
Do it.
Very
Do it.
So next morning, I'm hanging out front and I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know what? Why not? Let's just try it. It was free. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Yeah, well, it's fine.
And I took a Sawzall to it, and there was no going back after that.
Yeah.
I sat back and looked at it. I'm like, what did I just do?
Well, there goes that quad.
That was a can of worms, all
You gotta
right.
start. That's the best kind of project that you open up like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you realized. And the funniest part is I didn't even see if it ran before I did any of this.
So you didn't try to start or anything beforehand?
No.
Nice.
I thought I knew what it was. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a carb. It's been sitting a long time. It's a carburetor. So the deeper I got into it, the guy carted it down a hill.
Gosh.
He bent the A-arms. There was some damage. The handlebars have bent. I didn't need the handlebars.
No, you didn't need that.
I
That's
just
fine.
need the suspension and the motor.
Yeah.
So
And the steering rack.
yeah, and the steering rack.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was expecting you just to put the motor in, not like the suspension or anything like that stuff.
It was full board, man. It was
Like, you know how the golf carts have like a front bulkhead? Like, like the club cars have like a full bulkhead. Well, the front bulkhead of this quad cart was a quad. It's called a quad cart
because I gotta see this right now.
It's literally a quad and then the cart. But you even put the swing arm on it, right?
I did everything on it.
Dude, sick. That's nice, though.
Oh yeah, it turned out pretty sweet, man.
How fast was it?
80. Went 80 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
That's why I sold it.
That's probably smart to get rid of that thing. All right.
It was cool. I did it. It was
You're about
clutch.
to kill yourself.
Yeah. It was one time at the desert. I went over a speed bump a little too quick. I'm like,
The speed bump.
it was a speed bump, not a rut, a speed bump in the road. And
You're on.
the back end. It bucked up and it rode on the front for a while. It slammed down, stalled out. I'm like,
I'm done.
I think this is time. It's time
You're
to
like,
get
I
rid
think
of it.
next time it's going to throw me in front of it and then run me over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, no seatbelts or anything, huh? Just
No.
Of course
Who
not.
needs seatbelts?
Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
And I had a right.
Came out clean though. That's impressive.
Oh yeah, the thing was sweet, man. It had
spent
a
a ton of time on it.
suicide
Yeah.
shifter. There was a lot
Sick.
of headaches for sure trying to figure out the
sure.
shifter to it. It was clutch, so
Yeah.
you'd pull the clutch and
Yeah.
bang shift.
That's awesome.
It was so cool, man.
That's cool.
It was rad.
How fun.
Yeah, we did that. I had to raise the seat. This is kind of funny. I mean, it was messed up, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I had to raise the seat about 5 inches to clear for the oil cooler and all that fun stuff. And me and my girlfriend Bella, we were at my buddy Mundo's house cruising around the block.
Yeah.
And we weren't level-headed. We were a little
drinking.
under the influence.
All right.
It's street legal. It's a golf cart.
Yeah.
Under the influence of adrenaline, right?
Oh yeah,
Adrenaline.
of course.
Yeah.
And excitement.
Drinking
lots.
Gatorades.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're cruising around this corner, and so this thing it's live axle in the rear.
Yeah.
So if you take a turn,
So it's got
yeah,
it leans.
it goes on two wheels. So she's driving it. She got it a lot quicker than I did.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at driving manual or stick or a clutch for that matter. So the first time I got on it,
Damn kids.
I know.
I stalled it like 30 times. It must have been. I'm like, this thing's never gonna run.
How embarrassing.
She hopped on it, got it first time.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was amazing.
Can you ride a quad?
That's
No problem.
amazing.
Yeah, I can do that. It's just
Wrong one. No. It's, wah, wah.
Oh
That
yeah,
one.
that's it.
That's your.
Yep.
Aw.
So we're going around some turns, man. She takes a turn a little too quick, and it throws her out of it. She barrel rolls out of it.
No.
It was really cool looking.
And it was still going though.
yeah,
really
I
cool
was in the
looking.
passenger seat, and I'm like,
He's
oh
in the
my God,
passenger
dude.
seat.
Smart.
Yeah, it was.
Smart.
It was cool, man. She like, you ever seen one of those 007 movies? They just kind of
Actually,
barrel roll out of it. That's what she did. It was impressive. It was instinct
geez.
almost.
So
And,
how long did it take you to run over to see if she was okay?
I had to stop laughing first.
Oh my
It took-
God.
Well, I'd
Sure
like
she was
someone to
stoked.
laugh at me, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, are you okay, man? No.
You're good?
Laugh at me.
Yeah, all right.
That's fun. So I made real serious
I don't feel like
face.
she's
fun.
on that same page.
Probably not.
No, she shouldn't hear this podcast.
Just better not tell her about it.
Yeah.
Because you know she's going to listen to it.
So yeah, I get myself together from my bearings all gathered, and I
Oh my
walk over to her
gosh.
stone faced. You okay, hon? Everything fine? She's like, no, nothing's fine. I want to get out of here. And I'm like, okay, get in the back. Let's do this. We'll go back to Munoz. And we get to Munoz, and I'm like trying to cheer up the whole ride.
Did you
Yeah.
stall it though? Were you able to drive it at that point,
it
or did you make
stalled
her
out.
drive it back?
I drove it back. You know, I was nice. I wanted to be
That
a
was
gentleman.
nice.
Yeah. So we're on the way back to
Like,
the
honey, will you
house.
push it so I don't stall it?
Was she all rashed up too? Like,
She did cut open her jeans a little bit. She got a little road rash.
Yeah.
There was no gashes, nothing like
That's
that.
good.
She was,
Nothing
she
too
was
bad.
able to walk away.
yeah.
So we pull up to the house, and I'm like, all right, hon, look, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Okay, you're totally fine.
Yeah.
No embarrassment. You're good. And she
What do you
broke the
first thing you say
story.
to Moon? I was like, you said it right away.
She broke it. I didn't break it. And when
Okay.
she broke, I broke out laughing, dude. I'm like, I saw it happen, guys. It was amazing. She was awesome during the whole thing. She handled it like a champ.
Oh,
And she did, man. She handled it really good.
That's fantastic.
So you're like hyping it up like she went out like a gymnast doing
Oh,
back
yeah.
springs, twist, everything.
It was
deal.
stylish. It was stylish, to say the least. Yeah, it was a movie scene. For
Nice.
sure.
But a movie scene where they're like you've been kidnapped and they come around the corner and throw you out onto the curb.
Yeah, you just hop out. Yeah. And just barely. It was nice. I couldn't have done it. If
Yeah.
I'd have fell, yeah, I'd have
Been
fallen.
bad. You're falling.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not like.
You got more grace in you.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. So I mean, obviously you're into building a lot of stuff. You've got a lot of great stories. I mean, he's full of stories. But moving forward, like what are some goals that you're trying to get to, or what is like one vehicle you would want that you haven't had yet?
I would love a 1966 Pontiac Grand Prix. My mom had one back when I was a kid. I always used to break into it. We had these weird green plant things, like stringy plants.
Yeah.
And I'd tie it on at the end, and I'd break into it.
Oh my
she hated
gosh.
it. She did not want me in that car. But I liked
out
that
of
car.
it.
I was in it.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't in out.
so I'd hop in, and I'd pretend like I was driving. It had wood grain dash, all rutted out a little bit.
Nice.
It was a real cool looking car. She had to sell it, unfortunately, but I would love to have one of those cars to build up, possibly give to her.
Yeah.
Depends
that'd
on
be really cool.
depends on how much I like it.
Yeah. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. So I'd love to have one of those. I haven't been able to find one just yet for the right price, but
Now, would you keep it like original? Would you like pro touring? Would you like drag, hot rod? Like what would be
I would
your
keep
style?
it drivable, maybe not original driveline.
Yeah.
But just update it. Keep the OG dashes, but
More power, though?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Loud, more power.
Chevy 6.0 in that thing, and just no diesel, just gas.
Yeah.
And have that thing just mob around on.
Have fun.
But definitely want to be an old school driveline. That thing would have to be a sleeper.
Yeah. They sleeper, man. Sleepers are so rad.
So now, of the vehicles or projects that you've built in your short life so far, your young, wise age, what is your most favorite one?
Definitely the quad cart.
Yeah.
That thing,
see
it
why,
just, you felt like
Yeah.
a madman driving it. Like, dude, just banging the gears and hauling
Dude,
butt
80
down
miles an
the
hour is
street.
fast.
It was really fast. You got a little squirrely.
That's
if you're not
sketchy.
on the gas,
Yeah.
you're
You're
squirrely.
like on a park bench going 80 miles an
Oh,
hour.
yeah.
At any moment, that park bench could throw you off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was
sick.
It was something else, man. That was my favorite project, hands down. I love doing that
I
project.
guess from here on out, what's your future goals though?
Goals like career-wise,
Yeah,
or
career-wise,
Life, whatever.
life, yeah, both.
move up, just learn as much as I can, and
Yeah.
keep doing what I love. I mean,
Yeah.
I tell as many people as I can that projects are what keep people going. People aren't meant
Absolutely.
to be dormant. They're
No
meant
way.
to move around, do things they love, and
Yeah.
that's what I plan on doing as long as I can.
I
Definitely
mean, what
don't
if you were to
deviate
give
from it.
if you were to give someone advice, starting off like when they're 15, 16, get that same advice, to go get a job somewhere. Like what advice would you give someone now after, your past, 5 years or 6 years of working?
Definitely don't rush it. Take your time. You've got nothing but time in the world. There's no reason to hurry up through it. Just learn what you like, and there's no shame in exploring everything you can.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's
It's great
always
advice.
avenues.
Yeah, it is for sure. And it's really good. I guess one of my biggest problems is I try to I want it now. Like with everything I do, I'm like, I want it now. I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. I'm like,
I think it's called ADD.
yeah, I think that definitely. I think it is for sure. But that's my dude. My girlfriend, she's like, stop. Stop. We gotta we'll figure it out. We'll get there, but there's no need to do it now. She knows me, dude. She tells me every time, I want it now. So
I'm a lot like that too. I think just I just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Be there, do it.
Yeah.
Let it go, and then move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
Just get it going, and then if I don't, then you almost feel like you didn't accomplish anything.
failed.
You're like,
Yeah, I
oh
failed.
man, I'm such a
Yeah,
loser.
exactly. No, I feel
What the
that
heck?
a lot, man. I'm like, I want it now, but no, it's nowadays I try to look at the big picture, legit the big picture. I'm like, okay, I got plenty of time. I can move from here to do this, whatever it is. Plan it out. So it's that's what you're saying. You got time, man. Plan it out.
And
Do it right.
It's definitely not a bad thing to want it, to want to get it.
Yeah.
It's just can't rush it. It's the hardest thing too. Even everyone's going to struggle with it. I mean, I still struggle with it. I want everything now too.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Give it
you got
time.
to stop yourself.
I know. Yes, I know. I tell myself all the time.
Chickity check.
Yeah, I know.
Or you wreck.
But yeah, exactly. Growing up, did you like trucks and you like cars, all that growing up, right? I remember you were telling about, they used to do bonfires up in Corona and the hills and stuff like that.
Back in high school.
But
that was fun.
what brought people to get everyone drove their trucks up there, right?
Oh yeah.
So how does the automotive industry, in your mind, how does it bring people together?
It kind of you get new things and you want to show it off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all it is. You want to show your stuff off.
Yeah.
So just the more people, I mean, yeah, most of it's just showing your stuff off, man. Being blingy, being
It's your
flashy.
image. Well, then you work
Your
hard.
image, yeah.
You
You
work
work hard.
hard for these things, and you purchase this thing, and you just want people to go see what you worked hard for and what
true,
you
though.
got.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's why you work hard for it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's it's your trophy. It's your
Yeah.
It's almost your accomplishments. Those are the small goals. My
is.
goal is I'm gonna buy this or build this for my truck. And when you're done, you're like, hey everybody, check out my accomplishment. I finished it. I did it.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That's true. I remember.
And they're like, well, that sucks. You're like, well, you suck.
You suck.
Well, there's still a couple more things I gotta do to it.
Well, of course. Well, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
You're never done. You're never done.
Oh, no.
No one's ever done.
Yeah.
Whatever you're building, you're never done with it. That's where remember growing up in high school, we used to do every Friday morning was late morning for us. So we got 2 hours late. Or what was it, 8 a.m. we got to start school instead of 7 or whatever it was. And we used to go down to the place called Sand Track. It was down here in an open field up here. Now it's all buildings, but we used to go off-roading every Friday morning. And that was the thing. We all went down there. You would make sure you had something new on your truck the next week because you always had something new to show off, And that was the thing, which I thought was really cool that it brought people together and brought all our friends together.
I mean, I went to truck shows from the time I was
dude.
16.
I was
for
truck jam and
I went to all of them,
Yeah.
the river runs, the truck runs, all the truck shows, and you'd always want to go there with your car just on point,
Yeah.
clean, with new stuff, new everything, and everyone was there with similar interests. And
Yeah.
it didn't really matter, in the industry, where you were at.
Yeah.
I was at a truck show in a parking lot. You were in the desert, or out in the sand washes. You're up, in Lake Matthews having bonfires, and
Oh, yeah.
it just everyone attracts and it brings people together.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Birds of a feather.
There it is.
They flock together.
All right.
Wait, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
I've just heard it. I mean,
I heard it. I heard it back in
don't ask
Nam.
me the technicals to it.
That's true though. No, it's really cool. Whether it doesn't matter if it's off-roading or drag racing or drifting, I feel like just automotive world just comes together all the way around.
Well, it's also, I think, because usually people in the automotive industry are more mechanically inclined.
Yeah.
And it's because we've all started somewhere like yourself and everything, where you created whatever you could with whatever resources you had at that time. And a lot of times you had to work through it and work on things and figure out how to work on things and be resourceful. And the automotive industry, I think, teaches people when you're working on the cars, it's not like you're just a mechanic. What it's teaching you is how to problem solve, how to be resourceful, how to, how to move forward, how to take this roadblock and not it be a dead end, but just be a small detour to get around to then find through it. And it almost kind of becomes a way of life. That's probably why we see a lot of people who enjoy this industry and have been successful, because it taught everyone how to be resourceful, how to overcome challenges, how to move forward. And sometimes you don't have the right tools, but you figure out how to make it work one way or the other.
For sure.
I mean, especially like if you're in Glamis in the middle of the desert and you break down, like you're not towing anything out there. You better figure out how to make this work with a screwdriver, some duct tape, and a zip tie.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's always scary, man. It's like, even when you're boating too, you're out boating, and like you break down, you're in the middle of the freaking lake.
Yeah,
and all right, let's try to fix this thing. And
anybody want to go swimming?
Exactly. Let's cool down a little bit.
Yeah, who's towing us in? No, it's definitely crazy. I know you asked Will his dream car. What's your dream car, Sean?
That's a good
right now that you haven't had. You've had a lot of cars and a lot of cool stuff.
Right now, I think there's two types of cars. Can I pick two? They're kind of similar, but not.
Fair. Yeah.
I mean, I've always wanted like a, just a cruiser, like a, 60s Cadillac, just big boat, right?
Sick, yeah.
It's a big giant boat cruising. I don't think I'm responsible enough to have anything fast anymore.
Kind of like a Continental or like something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Just a big giant boat. And I'm not looking for anything just super pretty. I mean, if it's got a decent paint job, great.
Cool.
But I want it to lay on the frame.
Absolutely.
Tuck wheels.
Great. You want bags or hydros on it?
That one I'd probably put bags on.
Yeah, it's kind of got bags on it, yeah.
The other one, though, I wouldn't mind just the OG original lowrider.
That'd be sick.
Just like a,
And that one's got to have hydros.
Oh, Impala on hydros, the Daytons, the Gibson, logo or Gibson family.
The metal
thing cut out in the back window.
Sick.
The 150 different colors and pinstriping and airbrushing all over.
And I think the flake, the gold flake or the shiny, all that. Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably have to replace 3 tires, or every year, because one would never touch the ground. Because I'd be 3-wheeling everywhere I went, like 3-wheel right in and park the front tire on the curb or something. Like
sick.
Still got the off-road mentality.
He will always have off-road. Yeah, exactly.
You're right. And I've always lifted trucks. One of my best friends, my son's godfather.
Yeah.
We met from the automotive industry because he had a new truck, and I had the same truck.
Yeah.
I was lifting mine. He was lowering his. And so he put his, this is back when 20-inch wheels were big. He had 20-inch Momos.
They're huge.
MIC Customs, you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Put hydros on it. So he had a slammed one on hydros, and I had mine lifted. It was back when 2-wheel drive trucks were never lifted.
Yeah.
It was one of the first ones lifted. Mine was on 33s or 35s.
That's awesome.
And I just remember, us being dumb kids going out to the river in his Silverado on hydros, hitting switches with a single Sea-Doo behind us all the way to the river, back and forth, and it was so much fun. The river runs, everything. So yeah, I would right now. I think I would get an old classic cruiser or a straight lowrider.
Be cool
with Daytons.
Oh yeah, dude, Daytons would be sick.
So it's only right. What's your dream car?
Oh man. It's hard. I don't know. In high school, I had a single cab F-150 95, so it was like the square body all aluminum.
Oh yeah.
You want the Lightning?
No. So the Lightning would be sick though because it's a big motor, fast. I had that, and I had a Solo Motorsports mid shovel kit on it, so it had the I-beams, the bent I-beams, all that stuff. So it was sick. I loved it, but I was never able to do what I want to do with it because I couldn't afford it back then. So it was now I think I'd love to get one again and actually build it like full cage, everything, actually a dope pre-runner. And actually go out and have some fun with it. I think it'd be really cool to do that. That'd be cool. And then, I don't really have any other. I would love a bagged vehicle. I've always wanted a bagged vehicle.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool. I had a 63 Buick Sabre, and I bought it a long time ago. And it was in the back of my old studio. So I was like, you know what? I wanted to build it so bad. I wanted to bag it. It was dope. But It needs so much work, so much money. I was like, I didn't have time for it, dude.
Well, and I mean, so I'm gonna take that back since I was thinking more street cars. I think my number one vehicle to want would be like a luxury pre-runner. I don't think you could go wrong with just a sick ass luxury pre-runner.
No way.
And back when we, our friends were racing, and then the Herbs with all their red Chevy pre-runners and stuff, you're just like, oh my gosh, like they're. No, I said wine coolers and stuff in them. I mean,
wine coolers.
No,
like,
dude, it's insane.
Like
that's unreal.
The luxury pre-runners out there are
mind-blowing.
They are.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing can really touch them. And then when you're in them, they're literally trophy trucks. I mean, these things
they're out of control. I know. I shot Menzies' dad's new pre-runner, and it took him about 3 years to build, which was massive. I'm trying to think. They had Stewart Raceworks built it.
Okay.
Out in San Diego, and it's just. Dude, that thing was ridiculous. It was over $1 million, almost $2 million freaking pre-runner.
Wow.
But it was out of control. I'll have to show you some pictures on here. It was really cool. Shot that one. Geyser brought one to us that they built for Dan Brazilian, which was insane.
Oh, yeah.
They extended the cab back because he wanted to make sure he could fit 2 girls in the back as well.
2 busty girls, obviously, right?
So they needed more room.
Airbags.
So that was that was the old thing. So they cut the cab, actually, where the back window was, they cut it off, and they extended it out another, 12 inches or whatever it was. That way they could put 2 more seats back there and a full cage still.
Oh,
so it was sick, man. The thing was badass. Yeah, I shot some really cool printers.
So question for both of you. We're going to start with Will. If you could race anything, what would you race?
Ooh, we talking anything?
Anything, like, not including quad cars.
Oh, dang it.
Damn it. You're going to start your own league?
It's my go-to. It would definitely be trucks. Pre-running. That would be rad for sure. Yeah.
Would you go like full trophy truck?
Oh, yeah.
Like Baja, right?
I'm gonna race Baja.
Wish it. You're going to want it. You know?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, we're dreaming big here. Like, you want to race your jets, then that's what we can talk.
I want the wine cooler stuff, too.
For the pre-running, I want the wine cooler.
You don't want the extended cab with Dan Blazerian's accessories?
Give me the wine cooler. That'd be good with that.
The wine coolers. Fair enough. That's a smart answer, actually. Especially if the girlfriend's listening.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, man. I think probably trophy truck. I mean, I feel like I have to pick trophy truck because that's just.
I feel that, me too. It's one thing. I mean, I raced short course, the course stuff. The reason why we did that, it was a lot easier to get friends together to help work on it.
Yeah,
it takes a massive crew to run a successful, Baja team or something like that, and it's so hard to put together. I would love. To do that.
Yeah, even
I think the pre-running would be the most fun.
Well, that's the funnest part. You're down there for 2-3 weeks beforehand.
Yeah,
and you're just pre-running the whole time, and then comes a race day. You're 24 hours. You're racing. You're done.
Yeah.
Oh. But it's the 2 weeks leading up to it that you're pre-running, which is sick. Like tacos every day. Oh,
tacos.
Dude, tacos in Mexico.
I love tacos.
Dude, they're so ridiculous. And there's nothing beats Mexico tacos.
No.
Dude, nothing. Like El Trailero or freaking Baja Bird on there, like the best freaking tacos in the world. The handmade tortillas, like everything about it, just stupid, man.
Okay, so you seem like you got a lot of personality, a lot out there. Someone that like lived on the edge and stuff. What's your favorite ice cream?
That's messed up because you already know.
We're gonna get some flack on it. All right. I love vanilla.
Yeah.
I love vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
The guy that
like
builds
French
the
vanilla,
quad
though?
car. No, he likes just regular vanilla.
Straight vanilla.
Vanilla. Yeah.
But do you like French vanilla?
I've never had French vanilla,
Okay.
This poor guy, right?
but I love vanilla, so I might like
We're gonna
French
stop and
vanilla.
get you some.
It's
I'm
just
more
extra.
American though, so maybe
Hey, Walker,
not.
can you go to some vanilla ice cream?
Yeah, French vanilla though.
Yeah.
French vanilla is.
Put the French in it.
Put the French in it. What about you, Sean? What's your favorite?
I have 2 favorites, but my one favorite, I mean, my go-to when I go with the kids is like chocolate chip cookie dough. However,
Earlier he said it's a different one.
There's something else out there.
True. Let's pull the truth out of him real quick.
you bubble gum.
Yeah, there it is.
You get those amazing.
There it
Real
is.
childish.
I had bubble gum when I was a kid.
I mean, you get those amazing little like gumballs. They're like hard as
They're
rocks.
hard.
And
Yeah,
you can't chew.
Yeah.
You pretty much like crack them half, chew on it 3 times, and spit them out.
Yeah, they don't last at all. Once you get it soft enough,
You got
to eat,
5
they
seconds
last.
of flavor.
Exactly. Not even that.
Then it's just a jaw workout after
Exactly.
that.
Then I know it's done. And you got to try to eat your ice cream while with the gum in your mouth. It's just so weird. But it is good. I haven't had it in probably 20 years, but it is really good.
I mean, there's obviously a
Rightfully so.
There's a time and place. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a time and place for bubblegum ice cream, but in your defense, Will, there's always a time and place for just ice cream, including vanilla.
Yeah. That's true, though.
Because vanilla, though, it's a great base, but it's like an unfinished project. Maybe that's like what you're used to.
I love
Yeah,
vanilla.
maybe
I love
that's
vanilla
what you're used to.
That's mean.
Because like you got this
different.
vanilla ice cream right there, and it's literally the base, and you can just add to and customize
Like, no, I'm good.
in 50 different directions. Like
Yeah, I just take vanilla plain.
It makes sense.
Sometimes some fudge.
I love
sometimes
Just a
it's like the
little
only
bit.
way you can eat it.
Well, if I'm watching my figure.
You know what?
Okay,
But
hold
I
on.
love a good vanilla milkshake. Just a straight vanilla milkshake is delicious.
Now you're in the same category as Will. Get out of here. What are you talking about? Okay, how let's draw this one. Sundays, okay? Do you get nuts on your Sunday or no nuts?
Oh, male or female? That's what my friend Aaron always called it, male or female.
Male or female? Yeah, I
Yeah,
prefer.
with nuts or without.
I prefer male. Female. I almost got myself there. You don't
a hard
have to
call.
answer, Will.
Yeah, honestly, I can't remember the last time I had a, what is it, Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one with the banana, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, that's called a banana split.
Oh, that's a banana split. Yeah, it is.
Okay, then
Poor
I might
guy.
have never had a Sunday.
We have so much.
We're going to the ice cream shop right after this. They opened a new one called Bruce's.
Have you
right here. It's
ever
amazing.
heard of 31 flavors?
You know what? This guy at work, Gary, talks about that a lot. 31 flavors.
Hey, isn't that Baskin Robbins?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
You've never heard of Baskin? Have you ever been to a Baskin Robbins?
I've been to Dairy Queen.
All right, that's close. They're
Yeah.
about
Not necessarily. That's like
yeah, but DQ has Blizzards, man. Blizzards are insanely good.
they
to
are
Thrifty's.
so good.
Thrifty's has great ice cream.
Yeah. Vanilla ice cream.
No wonder you only like vanilla because you've never been to a 31 flavors and all these other
31
options.
other flavors.
You're like, there's 31 options and I
There's 30
can't go with
more.
vanilla.
I think there's a such thing as too many
And
options.
you can test them too. So like you could go around, they'll give you a little spoon.
Uh-huh.
The little pink spoons they have in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
They won't
idea.
reuse a spoon, so you can go through multiple spoons.
Yeah, you
over
have
the
use
counter.
wasting spoons. Yeah. All right. Now that we're off of this childish talk, where do you, as a younger generation, where do you see kind of the automotive industry going over the next 10 years?
I definitely see it expanding. There's always going to be people that want to get into automotive. A lot of it, I feel, is going to go to electric till electric takes a dive. But, I think the automotive industry is always going to be alive, along
Yeah.
with boating, motorcycling, anything like that.
Yeah.
That's always going to be out there.
Yeah.
And I think it's only going to progress, really. I mean, I don't think anything really de-progressives, especially something like an off-road industry. That's
for sure.
huge, gigantic. I think it's going to be continuously growing.
Well, even bigger than that, I still feel like the Formula Drift stuff, all the drifting, all that scene is massive. I think it's even bigger than off-road right now. Like it's insanely
stuff's getting
how
pretty
big it is.
I mean, they're going to, stadiums,
Yeah.
right? And
They're doing big stuff.
filling out. I mean,
Yeah.
they,
They sell out every event.
I mean, they've got probably more people than are at NASCAR races now at some
Yeah,
times.
honestly, I think they do. It's pretty incredible. I think they're crushing it. It's really cool to see the drift, series like that, killing it. It's really cool. But I think that relates to more people too, because not everyone can just go out and off road.
True.
So I think a lot of people relate to the car stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, drift,
I don't know, man. I see a lot of cars out there off-roading sometimes. It shouldn't be off-roading.
That's true. Yeah, they're just not the
best at it.
Yeah, it's not very smart to bring your Acura out there.
Yeah. A couple times at the bonfire, I saw a Crown Vic.
Oh,
come
I'm
out
sure,
there.
man. I believe it. Oh,
Yeah.
Crown Vics, though, they go anywhere.
They are.
That's why the cops use them.
Yeah, exactly. And they got big trunks.
And they got big trunks. Yeah, throw some people back there.
What do you hope to see from the automotive industry moving forward?
Honestly, just hope to see more of the same. Just the same excitement for it, and hopefully the same aftermarket support. I mean, there's always ways to improve on everything like that.
Yeah.
So I really hope it doesn't change, and if it does change, maybe just for the better, and make it more cooler.
Yeah, no, I think it's going towards a cool side though. Like, look at Ford, dude. Ford's killing it with the Bronco, and they have the Ford Raptor R now. They come out with the freaking V8 finally.
Now you have the Raptor.
The Raptor's sick, dude.
Yeah.
So I think Ford is coming out with these cool products.
They
that
call it
are
the
awesome.
Raptor?
Yeah.
I think it's a Bronco Raptor.
Yeah, it's a
right?
Bronco
Or is it the
Raptor.
Brop?
Brop. No, it's a Raptor. Brop. Well, if it's on how a 2-stroke or 4-stroke, Brop or Brop.
Yeah.
All depends on what you call it. But no, I feel like the industry is doing really well. I think the automotive industry is strong right now. I think it's getting stronger. You know,
it is. It's really awesome right now when you think about what's going on. Like you said, you got the TRX. I mean, it's a supercharged 700 horsepower, off-road truck.
Insane.
Yeah.
Coming from the factory.
Coming from the factory.
Yeah.
The Ford Raptor coming out. You got the Tundra TRD Pro.
Yeah.
The ATX4 from Chevy. I mean, I'm a Chevy guy through and through, but some are doing this better than the others.
Absolutely. Chevy's behind, but
I mean, it also goes back to out of 2006, 2007, like in those earlier years, like the Camaros, the Mustangs, all the cars, all the CUVs come out. They weren't appealing to most automotive enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Which kind of left the door open for some of us. But those, 80s, 90s, early 2000 cars weren't that awesome, right?
Yeah, no.
But then they started coming out, with the Challenger, the Charger, Hellcats, V8 equipped cars, the Mustang coming around, and the new Corvette going on. I mean, you see all this stuff, just all this propaganda on social media saying, "Oh, this is going away, that's going away, electric this, electric that." But when you just pull all that out of your sight and you look at what's really going on, dude, there's the most horsepower ever equipped in a factory vehicle is being offered right now. The Corvettes. I mean, there's a lot going on, which is pretty awesome. So if you can kind of gauge our future, that would be cool. And the only reason why an electric car is even remotely cool is because Tesla has got a fast ass one that rows people down the shit. I mean, that's the only reason why I never want one. And I mean, that's the only reason why they're fast, remotely cool.
Yeah. No, the speed for sure. I mean, electric, that torque, dude, just instantly too.
Exactly. So it turned into more of a toy.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always going to be that way.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the future too. There's, we the people, we dictate a lot of what is going to happen. The aftermarket industry dictates a lot of what the OEMs do to their vehicles.
Always.
When you look at the Raptor, people 20 years ago
already did that.
Had to, but you had to build your own Raptor. You had to put your own long travel on, your own shocks, your own bed sides, your own everything. You built that one.
And people weren't buying newer cars because they were buying older ones and they're modifying them like that.
Yep. And so the OEM saw enough of a market to introduce that one.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping the next one's going to be, I mean, look at all the old muscle cars, right? The Camaros, the Chevelles, all of them, the Mustangs. I'm hoping, because there's a massive market for people restoring those and doing the road touring and putting new equipment, everything on it.
Yeah.
I hope they come out with like a replica, like a 69 Camaro, but all new drivetrain underneath, like everything.
The steel body, everything. Like, cool, man. They have to.
It would be insane.
They do. Like, don't come out with a 4-door Chevelle, with the freaking N-line 5-cylinder.
Charger, dude.
Come on, front wheel drive. Like, get out of here with yourself.
Dude, don't ruin it. Don't.
But I hope, because I mean, when you really look at a lot of the vehicles that have been introduced for the last 20 years, they're influenced by the aftermarket.
Yeah.
So when you see what's really going and moving right now, as they're looking to find their next best thing, I hope that's one of the routes they go, or they at least let you go buy a body, like
Exactly, that'd be sick.
And
make it an option.
Yeah, make an option. There are a couple of companies out there that sell them bodies, right?
Yes, there is.
Market bodies. Like I know there's one that does Mustangs. They always sell.
There's a lot of C10 people too.
Yeah, C10 too.
How about the C10s? How much those things blew up?
They're so sick, man. I've always wanted to. So growing up, I don't know if you remember him. His name's Chris. He had the sickest orange C10, dude. He rolled around your blend all day. Bagged, body dropped. He was part of like local finesse, the whole like.
Yeah.
But dude, that thing from there on out, I was like, I need one. I need a C10. Like that's so sick. So that would actually, I guess that'd be my next thing. I would definitely buy a C10 and bag it. And
hell yeah.
And but they're expensive right now, man, because everyone's doing it.
They're too much.
I know.
They're too much. And then
Well, Casey Curry, he just bought a C20.
Okay.
And they have a conversion to make it a C10.
Really?
You hack the back of the frame off and you make it a C10. It's pretty cool.
Because it's a long bed, obviously.
It's long bed, so you hack it all off.
He's not worried about axles underneath it either.
No, that's true. Yeah, he just put one of his Curry axles on there, so he's good. But no, man, it's cool. I think the industry is popping off, and it's going to continue growing, and I think it's a good place right now.
We're excited for you being young and being at the next leading edge of whatever's going to come. I mean, we're kind of at a pivotal point in the automotive industry with all the talk and everything about electric cars. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you're in the exhaust business. You should be scared." This and that. And I'm like, one thing. Drawing a blank. One thing Elon Musk said is, it took 25 years to get horses off the road.
That's crazy.
Okay, so cars were introduced. 25 years later, you stopped seeing it.
Yeah.
and it didn't end until it was practical.
Yeah.
Electric vehicles aren't practical for the masses yet.
Oh, man, not yet. We went to Havasu a couple weekends ago, and a couple of girls that went up, they came up in their Tesla, and they made it there. But going back, they had to stop 3 different times. It took them like 7 hours to get back, 8 hours to get back. I'm like, dude, that sucks, man. Just not like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Come on.
It totally sucks.
Dude, I'm like, I just stop at a gas station and fill up in 15 minutes and go home, you know?
I had an
Rev your
Uber
engine where you pass them.
Exactly. See ya.
I had an Uber pick me up the other day in a Tesla.
Yeah.
Remember I sent you that? He was all bummed. He thought he was going to get in one, but they couldn't. I've never been in a Tesla before. So we're in the Uber.
Actually, recently I just went in one.
Yeah, it was my first time.
Yeah.
And then thankfully the Uber driver, he was pretty cool. He was showing me how fast it was and everything. Like,
Dude, the center console is pretty dope, though. Like, when you get to see the cars next to you, like, virtually and stuff, it's pretty dope.
They are pretty
Yeah.
dope.
There's some cool technology advances in there, so.
I'm gonna get my wife one of the hands-free driving one.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like she'd probably get to work safer if it drove her than her driving herself. Sorry,
Oh,
babe.
man. Sorry, babe. Hopefully not listening.
Hopefully not listening.
So, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I got a couple questions for you.
All right.
How do you guys enjoy what you do? Like, I know you enjoy it, and I know you enjoy it, but why do you enjoy it?
We actually had this conversation yesterday. We went to the shop filming. I think we love what we do because we love the automotive industry. I think that's a big part of it. And
It starts with love.
Yeah, it starts with love
and a
because
passion.
It was a passion for sure. I mean, that's where it started. Anyways, as a passion to start, and it still is a passion today. We do have to sometimes regenerate that love though, and keep it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's always gonna be times where it's like, dude, I'm just burnt out on it. And we were talking earlier, it's like in podcast one, it's like, dude, you get burnt out. But how do you find that love again and keep going? So I think that's a big thing is like finding that love again, trying something new, staying up with the times, and the struggles keep you going too.
Yeah, and then letting your job be a tool to obtain your goals. You know, like sometimes when you get burnt out on it, it's because you've lost your direction or no longer have a goal or you don't know what you're working for or where you're going. And you really just got to make sure you got your goals and stuff in line so that you're working towards it. I mean, you don't have to love what you're doing as long as it's able to help you move forward towards those goals that you want throughout life and you can see that future. You are in control of your own destiny. Right?
Yeah, you really are. You're definitely in control of it. And funny way of talking about it is like it's crazy. Your body tells you how you're gonna feel, but if you change that mentality of, it's like we were talking about going and working out. It's like we've both been working out a lot more lately. So it's like that changes your mindset on everything. So sometimes you got to change your mindset to get you back into the motion of things. I don't know. It's a super weird thing.
Well, it is. So like, your number one tool that you have is your mind and body, right?
Yeah.
And so the first thing you want to do if you're going to go out in the world and go kick its ass is make sure that your tool is strong, your mind is strong, your body strong, that your confidence, you're there. I mean, you go into any situation with confidence, you're going to kill it. But you go in just kind of uneasy, not depressed, like they're going to freaking stomp all over you.
Yeah, they are going to stomp over you. You got to believe in yourself too, man. I think that's a huge thing. Don't let anyone tell you differently. It's like, believe in yourself. I think that's lately it's been my big thing. It's like, cool, I know I can do it. It's like sometimes you get in a rut and you follow that rut and you keep going pushing that rut. Sometimes you got to jump out of that rut completely and find your way again and jump right back into it and believe in yourself because I mean you can do whatever you want to do.
And it's okay to dislike your job at times. It's okay to
absolutely.
Sit there and go, oh my gosh, this sucks. It's okay to have bad days.
You have bad days. You work yourself and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
But you got to reset.
Freaking will.
Oh, man. That exhaust was done 3 days ago.
Yeah.
But that's how life is. I mean, it's always going to have your up and downs, but just battle through it. So pretty cool.
Just, you keep powering through because you have goals and you have wants.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, keep pushing, dude, no matter what. I think that's the big thing. Is like, dude, I think that's how we've both made it to where we are today. It's like, you just keep pushing.
Yeah, and you may not see it now, but whatever position or path you're going down in will provide other opportunities along the way.
Absolutely.
And if you jump off of this one onto something new, you might miss out on some other opportunities.
Yeah, but it's not a bad thing either. Because if maybe the opportunity wasn't meant to be, So it's like you may choose a different path later on, and like, oh man, I wish I would have kept doing that. But ultimately, this was your right path. So whatever path you do is your right path.
Keep your eyes open for opportunities.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take opportunities. Don't be afraid to, if one door shuts, another one's going to open. Just remain open-minded to what's out there.
Yeah. Always there, so.
I mean, I'm sure you don't want to be at Gibson forever. I mean, I would like you to be there forever, but you know, I mean, we've never had like, you know, if any one of our employees or fellow employees that have come to us, I mean, if there's better opportunities out there, someone needs to see and go get them.
Yeah.
You know,
the growth out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a relationship.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's crazy, man. Well, it's a.
So what else? One more question?
Nope.
How about you?
No, I think that's solid. I think that was a pretty long one. Awesome, man. Well, Will, dude, I'm stoked you came on. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm super excited. You guys can follow along with Will. He's doing some really good stuff at Gibson, so it's really cool to see them crushing over there and building new exhausts. And they're doing a Raptor right now. Actually, we're talking about Raptors. So,
yep.
And if you don't like it, make sure you reach out to him.
2022 Raptor that is like 4-linked, everything too?
Yeah, 4-linked. Yeah, that thing's nuts, man.
Down. It's really cool.
Nuts.
So that will be coming out soon on Gibson's social media. So we'll shoot that thing when it's done.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
Closing words. Got a last statement?
Stay cool.
Stay cool. Stay cool, guys. Yeah, we out.
Yeah. Peace.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces.